Aloha and welcome back to Maui Apothecary Magic YouTube channel. Today I will be discussing feminine and masculine energy, the yin and the yang principle. Here in Western culture, we have had a hard time of acknowledging and accepting that no matter what your gender may be, that we hold the energies of masculine and feminine energy within us. And it is a great practice to try and bring these energies, number one, into balance, and then number two, into union. When you have internal union of your masculine and feminine energies, that's what's called unity, and that's what's called wholeness. Of course, every person may experience a little bit more of their masculine energy or feminine energy. I know for myself personally, I have operated mainly in this lifetime in my masculine energy. You know, I worked very hard in school, went to a great college, went and kind of just launched right off the bat into the corporate world after graduating. And it took me until my spiritual awakening to really start to understand and work with my feminine energy. And so I want to briefly explain kind of the differences between the masculine and feminine energy. And I got a beautiful download last night that is, I believe, a very timely reminder of also how beautiful our masculine energy is, as well as our feminine energy. For someone who has been focusing a lot on feminine energy, I will admit that I have been neglecting my masculine energy, or when I've had to dip into my masculine energy, it's been a little bit more difficult to do, especially, I will say this, like, it's hard there. I don't feel like we have many great positive role models, really exemplifying the masculine energy. I believe that a lot of our male embodied brothers have had to dip a lot more into the feminine, at least in my experience. I have noticed a lot of men being very successful in their feminine energy. It's how they're able to relate, it's how they're able to be nurturers for their families. However, and same with the feminine principle as well. I feel like we don't necessarily have the best role models of what this divine feminine, really embodied really is like. So I just wanted to touch, I felt like this was a very timely topic, and then with the download that I received yesterday, it helped illuminate a little bit more of the principles, because, I could just list a million things, but unless it really resonates with you, you may want to, necessarily neglect your masculine energy or neglect your feminine energy and just operate in how you've always operated. But I'm here to suggest that there is another way to operate, and that is by bringing your masculine and feminine energies into balance and into union. And it's actually a very simple practice, but first, there's always a first step of shining a light of awareness in any kind of healing, and any kind of bringing up past traumas from your subconscious to your conscious mind. The first step is always to shine a light of awareness on something, because if you're not shining a light of awareness on something, then it is still in the subconscious, uncovered, and you don't know you have to heal it. You don't know you have to work with it. So the beautiful message that I received last night was that our masculine energy is really here to serve the feminine energy. It is here to please the feminine energy. It is here to spoil the feminine energy. It's here to protect and provide for the feminine energy. And on the flip side, the feminine energy is here to feel, to live in our heart space and not shy away from the heavy or the sad feelings or the feelings of grief, but to truly embody it and then emote it. So the feminine energy is here to help emote those heavy, denser energies so we can be free from them. And if you just think about it, if we just pause right there and think about it for a second, the female body naturally does this with our cycles. When we have a moon cycle and we shed our uterine lining, it's a full detoxification of your physical body system, of your physical body, anything you had carried, anything that you possibly have ingested that might have been toxic or not in your highest interest. We get to shed it every single month and release it. While the male embodied, don't necessarily have, yes, they have a hormonal cycle just like we do. We are all ruled by the moon because we are made up of the majority of water, and the moon rules water and tides. So while the feminine has a way to kind of easily emote things, that's why we're also able to hold more, be a bigger vessel, to say none of your feelings are wrong, none of your feelings are bad. Let's not attach any labels to it, but just give it to me and I can emote it for you and I can transmute it for you. And the feminine energy also has this beautiful, it leads right into the next principle of the feminine energy, which is a nurturing energy. The feminine is the one who, traditionally is the childbearer, and this is a childbearer. No one other than a female embodied person can carry a child. It just is what it is. We have a gorgeous uterus and womb space, and our womb space is honestly so there's so much magic there. It's the principle of the universe that creates life in our womb space, in our physical bodies. So I'm just trying to bring these principles a little bit more grounded, a little bit back, more down to earth by talking about them in ways that it interacts with our body as well, because our body is a beautiful roadmap for us and can give us hints and clues. And like I mentioned before, we have cycles, and those cycles help us to connect with our feminine energy, but also to connect with our masculine energy. And in my opinion, the best kind of days that I have are when my feminine and masculine energies are in balance. So they're not fighting against each other. They're not trying to say like, okay, today is my day of like creativity, so that means I don't need my masculine energy. I don't feel that that's true. I feel that we need the feminine and the masculine, just using the example of creativity, for example, because, the feminine can have so many ideas and so many things that they want to get out, but if they're not taking the action steps like the masculine is able to do, then you'll just be stuck with all these ideas or dreams or goals or wishes, but you're not actually taking any tangible action steps. But when your masculine and feminine energies, your yin and your yang, are in balance, like the peace sign, that does provide an immense amount of peace and wholeness to yourself and your light. So just taking the example of the yin and the yang and the peace symbol, there's darkness in the light and there's lightness in the dark. And so that to me is they're intertwined, and you can't really have the masculine without the feminine. You can't have the feminine without the masculine. And I believe the highest form of unity that we can find within ourselves and within our body is when we are balancing our masculine and feminine energies. And it can be as simple as setting the intention. I set the intention to bring my masculine and feminine energies into harmonious balance. Simple as that. And you can feel the shift when you really dip into your body and you feel it. You're like, oh wow, that does feel very peaceful. That feels very centered. I don't feel like I'm warring at myself, but I know if a challenge presents itself, then okay, then maybe my feminine can step aside and my masculine can take hold, but my feminine's not going to step aside completely, because my feminine is going to make sure that the message that gets delivered is one coming from the heart space, and rather than the egoic mind or the logical mind. It's so beautiful when you can bring these into balance and into harmony, because it's kind of like you just let naturally just let one take over, but it's still tinged with the other one. Just like I mentioned with the symbol of the peace sign, there's lightness in the dark side, and there's dark in the light side. When you can come into this unity, come into this wholeness, it helps you transcend the dualistic mindset of one is better than the other, or since I'm a female embodied, that means I need to only have feminine energy. If I'm male embodied, that means that I only need to have masculine energy. I don't believe that to be true. I believe that true wholeness comes when you're able to fully balance these energies within yourself by first accepting that we all have both. Every single human being on this planet has both masculine and feminine energies. Your soul has masculine and feminine energies. They are a partnership. They're a team, and they want to work together. They want to be a team and be whole and be in harmony with each other. They truly do not want to be competing with each other or warring with each other or suppressing the other, because in every instance in our lives we have the option. We can either express our divine light or suppress our divine light. And I truly believe that we will find unity within ourselves and union with ourselves by really focusing on our masculine and feminine energies. I had a beautiful practice where I was doing this almost every single day, and just a couple months ago I realized, like, oh wow, I have fallen off this practice, and I could feel how I also was leaning a little bit more towards the feminine than I was towards the masculine, because as I mentioned before, like, the majority of my life I've had to live in the masculine. It's how I felt safe. It's how I felt productive. It's how I felt like, a member of a capitalistic society, truly, like, through my productivity. But that's also when I experienced burnout and adrenal fatigue, because I wasn't giving myself the time and space to nurture myself, to care for myself, to self-care for myself, to parent my inner child. And not saying that the feminine is the only way to parent your inner child, because the masculine can parent the inner child as well. I'm lucky enough to have grown up in a home where I have, parents who have, been together, and they both had their, strengths with parenting. My dad was a phenomenal parent. He used to carry me up the stairs every single night until I was like 13 and read me a book, or have me read a book, or just tuck me in, and then I had a mom who honestly did operate a lot in the masculine. She's a CEO. She's the breadwinner of the family, so I had this very strong feminine figure, but she was operating very much in the masculine. So a lot of the work that I've done since my spiritual awakening is really truly trying to connect with what even is the feminine principle embodied in a female. And I've been lucky enough to have teachers and guides along the way who have been phenomenal examples for me. But like I mentioned earlier, I don't think that these examples are, widespread, or like, I think we're trying to really, like, if you're a female body, you need to be in the feminine, or if you're a male, you need to live in the masculine. And like I said, I think that's doing us more disharmony, and I think that's really doing us a disservice, because it's keeping us locked in this dualistic mindset of, like, one is better than one is worse. And I don't think that's true. I don't believe that's true. I don't feel that's true. I believe that we have these energies within ourselves, and the goal truly is to bring them into union. Because when we're in inner union, then we can also reflect that out into the world, and we can reflect that into the relationships that we call into. We're calling in relationships where these people have done the work to balance their masculine and their feminine energy. First, as always, is shining light of awareness on it, and saying, like, yes, I know that I have feminine, I know, and masculine within me. I know I have the yin, and I know I have the yang. How can I get to that wholeness? How can I get to that union? And first step, I believe, is by setting the intention to do so. And then another helper that I've discovered along the way, I'm a crystal keeper of the crystals. I love crystals, and they've been an immense part of my healing journey, and my energetic, journey of understanding the energies of this earth plane. And I have one with me right now, and this is Amazonite. And Amazonite, one of the amazing, amazing, amazing principles of Amazonite is that it does balance the yin and the yang energy. This is why I use this crystal in my number 12 harmonious magic candle, because it is about bringing the feminine and the masculine together. And, candles, crystals, they're just amazing tools to help you on your journey. They're not going to do all the work for you. You have to program them and set the intention for them. You can do that using mantra. You can use that doing breath or just intention, using your voice to truly speak, what kind of harmony you're looking for. But I love this one, and I also love that it is carved as a dragon, because I feel that this is a protector symbol. It's a protector, and it's a sacred symbol. And of course, I was talking about the yin and the yang, and a dragon in Eastern culture has a ton of mythology going back thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And so I love this crystal. I love what it's been able to help me achieve, and to really remind me about my feminine and masculine energies, and how it's something that I believe that we should protect too. We should protect this process when we're doing it within ourselves, because that's the true goal of it. I'm not doing it so I can call in, a union of someone balanced in masculine and feminine energy. If that happens to appear in my life, that's great, because that's a mirror for me to show me where I am. And even if I don't call in someone who's in full union or balance of their masculine and feminine energies, that's also a clue for me, a mirror for me of like, okay, maybe I'm a little bit too much in my feminine. Maybe I'm a little bit too much in my masculine. And that can be a really great, teacher and tool and guidepost along the way as well. So if you are interested in obtaining some Amazonite, or number 12 Harmonious Magic Candle, which does have, like I mentioned, it does have Amazonite crystals on top of it, already infused with the organic soy wax and with the essential oils, go ahead and check out my website. I'm going to be restocking my website in the upcoming days with new candles. During my move, I did a huge moving sale before I moved, and I actually only have about 3 or 4 candles listed on the website currently, but I am going to be in the process of restocking them. And I also felt that this was just a really timely topic to cover, because today is the full moon in Aries, and Aries is ruled by the planet Mars. And Mars, the Pleiadians say that all luminaries, all life-giving forces are feminine, but when you are living in the solar system, when you are living on this earth plane, the energy that we feel from Mars is a warrior type energy. It's the Lord of War, and there have been galactic wars fought on Mars, and I've heard things recently on Gaia, that's still occurring, that there is warfare still occurring on Mars. Of course, take what resonates and leave the rest. If that doesn't resonate with you, whatever. No big deal. I'm just passing along something that I have heard. But I truly believe that, we are, and of course, to have the moon, which is a feminine energy and a masculine energy, that's an amazing example of how we can embody both at the same time. The moon doesn't fight against a masculine energy. It embraces it, and it says, okay, what is this trying to teach me? I know for me, it's just having the masculine energy come through very, very strongly last night for me, saying, I'm here to serve the feminine. I'm here to please the feminine. I'm here to spoil the heck out of the feminine. That to me was like, oh wow, awesome. Yes, I love that masculine energy. I totally welcome that into my life. And then on the flip side, the feminine saying hey, I'm here to feel and emote and transmute, and I'm here to feel and transmute for you too. I'm here to feel and transmute for the masculine energies too. I'm not just here to, because emotions just don't happen for the feminine, they happen in the masculine too. Although the masculine is dominantly the logical mind, they still have feelings about things. Obviously, like, no one can get away with not feeling. That's just not part of the agreement of being on this earth plane. Everyone feels. But the feminine energy can help the masculine to, hey, I have this huge vessel of my womb space, this infinite vessel that is a creator of life. And if you need to, and also the transmuter of life, we can give life, and we can also, miscarriages are a thing. That happens too. We can decide that this life isn't for us either. And I'm sorry if that's sensitive for anyone, but I just wanted to give both sides of it, because the feminine energy of Shakti is also creator and destroyer. And then the masculine is then the sustainer. The sustaining life force. I don't want you to be fully depleted of energy, of your life force, of your light. So let me fill you back up. Let me fill you back up with energy, with purpose, with drive. Let me spoil you. Let me take care of you. Let me handle all the things out of the way, so then you can live and breathe in your feminine, and you can feel, and you can emote, and you can create, and then you can nurture life through your creations. You can nurture your own body. You can nurture, and through nurturing your body, you're also nurturing your soul. And by allowing, the things that are no longer serving you to be transmuted out of your body. So you have a larger vessel that can sustain more life, that can sustain and maintain, a frequency of union, of harmony, of, beauty, or whatever. So this is just a little intro, a little preview into the masculine and feminine energies, the principles of yin and yang. I'm sure I missed a good amount, but I really just wanted to get the message through, because I have never really thought of and never really felt the masculine come and say that to me before, of like, hey, I'm here to serve you. I'm here to please you. I'm here to spoil you. And that, to me, as someone who has been single for many years, I'm like, heck yeah. Like, I absolutely welcome that into my life. I absolutely welcome that kind of energy into my life, because that doesn't make me feel like I'm giving up my independence, which has been a huge roadblock for me in coming into any kind of partnership, is like, hey, I don't really trust you enough to, lose my independence over. But if a masculine energy is coming forth saying, I'm here to serve you, I'm here to please you, I'm here to spoil you, and they have their feminine, energy and balance too, saying like, I feel, I emote, I nurture, I transmute. How beautiful is that? That's something I absolutely want to welcome into my life. So I just thought that perspective shift was really, really helpful for me, and helped me get over a block that I was having with my masculine energy. Because quite frankly, I'll just say it, like watching those debates, this debate this week, that's a great example of toxic masculinity. And I'm pretty sure all of us were like, no. I haven't heard one person that was like, that's phenomenal. That's what a masculine leader should be like. We all were like, what the heck? Seriously, like, I think all of us were taken aback of like, this is not the masculine energy that we want embodied in a leader, for either. I'm not political, and I don't feel well enough educated to make any sort of political statements, but I do feel like that's a very timely example, and it's an example that was put forth into the collective, and I think we all were like, ew. And I know a lot of people were like, where's the female candidate? Like, we need a female candidate up in here. And I don't think it's necessarily that. I think, and I mean, maybe it is. I'm totally open to that as well. I'd love to see a badass female leading. But I also know that it's also about the inner union of balancing the masculine and feminine energies, because when they are out of balance, that's when they become toxic. That's when when the feminine is out of balance with the masculine, they become bitter, they become resentful, they become more closed off and less open to inspiration and less open to nurturing others, and less open to even nurturing themselves. And also when the masculine is out of balance, they close off their heart. And they close off their heart, and they don't want to feel, and they don't want to look and feel deeply into what they need to feel. They'd rather just stay in the logical mind, because the logical mind and the egoic mind feels safer than it does to drop down in the heart space when the feminine is not there, when the feminine is out of balance, when the feminine is like, it's okay to feel, it's okay to have emotions, it's okay to cry, it's okay to need a hug, it's okay to need a cuddle, like, it's okay, let me nurture you, let me love on you. And I believe that that's the highest principle of bringing the masculine and the feminine into balance, is finding the love, and finding the love that they both are trying to show and express within yourself, and out, and to be of service in the world. They just want to work as a team, and they want to work in harmony as a team to find that beautiful, beautiful, beautiful balance. So I hope this helps. I hope if you have any questions about the masculine or feminine energies and principles, feel free to drop a comment. I'm going to link my website if you would like to learn more about the number 12 Harmonious Magic Candle, part of the numerology candle collection. And feel free to also check out my Instagram as well. I'm going to link that below as well. But thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this illuminated, and as always, take what resonates and leave the rest. I'm sending so much love to wherever you are on the earth plane. Big hug. Loving you.